Working class beer reviews. Looking at Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. Yes, one of their original release beer. They're actually celebrating the 40th anniversary of this beer. It is first produced in 1980. It's the company's first brew. On their website, actually, need to get into this habit. I'm trying to. Here's the cap, standard Sierra Nevada cap. I've got this cool glass I picked up at a flea market for like $1. Flat Branch Pub and Brewery. It's in Columbia, Missouri. Really neat establishment. Lots of great beer. It's an 18 ounce, so I'm gonna not even fill this thing up. This is made for being on draft. But open that up. Ooh, lots of vapor. Yeah, cool. So let's give that a pour. We're gonna really open this one up. So look at that. People would be like, "What are you doing? Learn how to pour." I am pouring. Don't worry about it. I'm doing it right. You're probably actually doing it wrong, unless you go by the specified pour of the company. If they tell you otherwise, then do what they say. You don't have to listen to me. We go to the website. The details of this beer is heavy on hops. That was always the brewery plan. So in 1980, we loaded Pale Ale up with Cascade, a new hop at the time named after the mountain range, and the intense aromas of pine and citrus sparked the American craft beer revolution. This is true. Not long, maybe a couple years before this beer was made, laws were changed by President Carter to actually allow people to brew beer at home. It used to be illegal at one point in time. So this was one of the first major companies to start doing this, and they've been doing it ever since. They've been on king of the hill almost. Your favorite brewer's favorite beer is tagline from First We Feast. So if you guys like to watch Hot Ones on YouTube with Sean Evans, and he does the the wing challenge with all the celebrities, that's who's talking. The company. So malts, 2-row pale and caramelized malts. I don't know if caramelized is an actual variety of malts, or if that's, to me caramelized means toasted, but I don't know. And hops is just Cascade, so one type of hop, and it's got ale yeast. Brewing is as much art as science, and all beer specifications and raw materials are subject to change at our brewer's creative discretion. So 5.6% alcohol by volume, 38 IBUs, 13.3 gravity, original gravity, and 2.8 finishing gravity. I'm not sure what gravity is all about. I'm not a brewer, so that I'm sure that may mean something to somebody. Craft Original Pale Ale. It changed tastes, made hops famous, and brought an industry back from extinction. That's a hard-working beer. Working class. So you can find this almost anywhere you find Sierra Nevada beers, you're going to find this Pale Ale. I got this one out of a sampler pack earlier this year, and or maybe it was late last year, late 2019. I don't know if it's got a date on it or not. Yeah, I don't. Oh, packaged on 9/16/19, so September 16th. So it's not old. It's got a little bit, few months on it. But anyway, the back of the bottle says, "The Pale Ale in your hand sparked the American craft beer revolution." True statement. Bold and complex with pine and citrus notes from whole cone Cascade hops. This Pale Ale was first brewed in 1980, the year I was born, and introduced a generation to the glory of hops. Our Pale Ale is still a classic, and Sierra Nevada Brewing Company is still 100% family-owned, operated, and argued over. So let's go ahead and add the rest of this. So yeah, this is like a benchmark for American Pale Ales. Sparked, lit a fire for everybody to follow that was going to start brewing beer. The companies come along after that, like Samuel Adams, which is not so much a craft company now as it used to be. Boulevard, New Belgium, Goose Island, you know, the list goes on and on. There's probably, in your own area and part of the United States, there's probably even more, you know. So what do you get with an American Pale Ale? You get, these are, there's a lot of particulate matter, so it's not highly filtered, and you got a lot of ascending bubbles going straight up to the top. Look at that head. That's like 3. Well, I just topped it off too, so 3.5, but it's holding nicely. You know, so you saw me pour it aggressively, and how that foam built right back up. Look at all it turned right back to beer. This is what you want, because this is where all the flavor's been. It's agitated enough to where it releases that carbon dioxide, and it gives off its full flavor that way. If you pour it so slowly it doesn't build a head, you're not going to release all that flavor, and all that carbon dioxide that it isn't released goes down your stomach and releases, and it'll go blimp you up, especially when you eat food with it. So let's look at the, it's kind of, I don't know, copperish colored. That's what usually American Pale Ales are like. Boulevard's American Pale Ale is a great beer as well, and it's very similar to this. Kind of big spongy looking bubbles, and all, like I said, it's sticking around though, and it's lacing around the top already. Yeah, you get that hop punch, but it's not like an IPA punch at 38 IBUs. That's pretty good, you know, a good amount, but it's not overly strong. And then 5.6, I think it said it was. Yeah, 5.6. That's fair. You know, it's got a good amount of body to it, so let's give it a sip. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Yes, delicious. Even for someone that's a hophead that really loves strong hoppy beers, they're still gonna like this, because you still get a good amount of that sticking around. It's a, not, I'd say close to a medium, it's around a medium body beer. I get the bitterness even like in the roof of my mouth and towards the back. I can taste the bitterness and feel it. Yeah, the great beer to get started on for craft beer. It's a good introduction to what a full flavored beer is supposed to taste like, or a full flavored ale. You know, that's why every company, when they start, they have to have it. That's like, they have to have a pale ale. A lot of them will have like a pale ale, a wheat beer, a stout, now an IPA. You know, those are your 4 standards that they're always touching on. And now, you know, a lot of craft companies are getting into the lager territory. Before, a lot of craft beer people turned their nose up at lagers, unless they were like a high-end European lager from Germany or something like that. But American lagers were just like, I don't even need to bother. But craft beer companies have been doing a really good job making really good all malt lagers. So yeah, it's very apparent when you try this of why it is their benchmark of an APA, I guess you'd call it, an American Pale Ale, APA. We'll call it that from now on. Yeah, they have an anniversary edition of this out, and it's got their original label, and it's all these different bright colors and stuff like that. And I think it says on their website that was actually by accident. But they, at the time when they first opened up, they didn't have enough money and time to reprint all the labels, so they just stuck them on for their first run. So you might see that. Look it up online, you'll see that. And maybe people from that time and that era remember that the label looking like that, kind of a rainbowish looking color. I think just the scheme was off. So it's changed over the years a lot. This one's got the hop cones and the barley stalks, the barley heads and everything on there. So it's changed over the years. First time I ever tried a Sierra Nevada product was probably in 2004. I went fishing in Clinton, Missouri, and they had they opened up a craft beer store for a little bit, and you could actually build your own six-pack. That's build your own six-pack or buying stuff by singles. In my town, really isn't that popular here in this area. You gotta go to the big cities for that. So when I buy something, I try to go to the gas station and find a single of it, like in a big tall can. So you can get this in 12-ounce cans, 12-ounce bottles, 16-ounce cans, and then 24-ounce, like what they call bomber bottles. And then you'll see it on draft at places that carry Sierra Nevada products. You know, obviously this is a West Coast, Chico, California, and Mills River, North Carolina. So they've got both coasts covered, and then they work their way inward from there. Yeah, dynamite product. You're probably not going to find anything better than this, but you'll find things that are approaching or as good as this is. You know, I really like the Boulevard Pale Ale. I also have a personal affinity, so that's my personal bias towards Boulevard beers, because I live in the area. But there's no disparaging remarks about this beer whatsoever. You know, it obviously has led the way for people to, pioneered the trail for people to follow. So what is your thoughts on this, on the Sierra Nevada Pale Ale? Do you enjoy it? Do you like it? Do you think it's bland? Do you think it's too strong for you? Let me know in the comments. Start a dialogue with me and let me know what you think. And I appreciate you guys watching this video, and I will see you guys later.